Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV. We're back with another video, and holy shit, we are here with Avengers Infinity War. Finally, a movie I have been waiting so long to talk about. This video might be 20 minutes long, who knows? I don't know if it's going to necessarily be that long. There's a lot to digest here, obviously, with Avengers Infinity War. Finally, a culmination of all of these like past 10 to 15 Marvel films coming together into one. It's a crossover on top of a crossover on top of mini crossovers. So many characters just come together in one big clusterfuck. This is one of the wildest movies I have ever seen. It's going to be one of the wildest movies we've ever and probably will ever cover on this YouTube channel. It was wild when I originally went to the theaters for it, jam-packed theaters all over the goddamn place. And yes, I definitely saw this in theaters, and it is still wild over half a decade later. And with Endgame still to be covered here on the channel, and even Avengers Doomsday coming out next year, which is kind of my main motivation to like get back into the MCU and finally review it for you guys. I seriously don't know how they could possibly top this, and I'm not even sure if they did with Endgame. I'm sure they probably did to an extent, but I don't know. I guess we will find out when we get there, but for now, wow. Every single member of the MCU, not really any introductions needed in terms of the cast here, although if you never watched the new trilogy for Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I did of course, you can go check out my reviews of those, he is sort of new here. And I guess Josh Brolin as Thanos takes center stage as the main villain for the first time, so there's that as well. Let's go. What are we waiting for? So getting into the premise, you have Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, and the rest of the Avengers, as well as the rest of the characters in the MCU, unite to battle their most powerful enemy yet, the evil Thanos. On a mission to collect all 6 Infinity Stones, Thanos plans to use the artifacts to inflict his twisted will on reality. You collect all of them, you're like the master of the universe, you can do whatever the hell you want. You control time, space, reality, I can't remember the other 3. Yeah, soul, all of this stuff. The fate of the planet and existence itself has never been more uncertain, as everything the Avengers have fought for has led up to this moment. That's what this movie was really marketed as, and it's what it executes as. If I were to explain this movie scene by scene, bit by bit, we would be here for a while, so I just wanted to kind of keep it short there. There's different tandems here as always with a Marvel team-up film, and each of them have their own missions, which I loved, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty, like all the stuff I liked about it coming up here. Basically, you have Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange being in their own group. Then you have Rocket, Thor, and Teen Groot breaking off into their own thing. You have Mantis, Drax, and Gamora, R.I.P. of course with Star-Lord, and then basically everyone else. You have Wanda, the Vision, Black Widow, War Machine, Hulk, Bruce Banner, I guess you could say. You have Captain America. All those guys kind of group up. It's crazy, man. And then it's just Thanos. He kind of has run-ins with Nebula and like Gamora, and the Shield has Nick Fury and Maria Hill kind of in the background. So let's get into it, shall we? Getting into the good, this is going to be a long section, the longest section of the video, possibly the longest good section I've ever had. But first off, I just really appreciated how they didn't give a fuck in the writer's room for this one. They just went balls to the walls, no holds barred. They killed monumental characters. Some of those characters I absolutely hated to see go, but obviously it needs to happen. All of this stuff, you know, I just love the risk they took here. It's no longer a fairy tale land where all of the heroes walk out unscathed. Thanos, I mean, I'm gonna have a lot to say about him in the good. I liked him. He's obviously an icon in his own right, but still, like, he really moved the needle as a villain in this film, and he will continue to do that, I know, in Endgame. I like Loki better. I don't think Thanos is really my favorite, but it's gonna make it seem like that in this video. I love how he was so powerful that it took the whole universe of heroes and they still couldn't take him down at the end of the day. Obviously, Endgame's still coming, but sometimes it is nice for the bad guy to win, and that happens here for now, of course. It's cool to see him headline his own movie, basically, where he is the main character, and that is so unique for a villain to be the main attraction, to be the main character in a movie. So grand, and all of the teasing throughout this universe, again, paid off in a big way. A lot of things paid off. Again, this was a culmination of every single character in this universe, all of their movies, all of the team-up movies, everything kind of came together in this, and I think they did such a good job with that, and that is not an easy thing to do. I do think Loki is better, but Josh Brolin was legendary in the role nonetheless. It was also quite refreshing to see probably the best villain we have seen since Loki, as Marvel's villains kind of suck, honestly. Like, we all know this. I mean, Killmonger was fine, but I wasn't a huge fan of him. Hela and Grandmaster were okay. Dreykov sucked. Most of the Guardians of the Galaxy villains kind of sucked so far. So for them to execute Thanos as well as they did, I loved this movie for that. That was great. He's such a good villain too that you almost hate that they waited so long to fully implement him him here. The Infinity Gauntlet is one of the most iconic set pieces in movie history. You have memes from this movie. There's just so many good things to comment on about this. It's just a legendary movie in general. There's not much more I can say. It hasn't been said already. You see critics raving all over the internet and all this sorts of stuff, and for good reason. Him just having this tunnel vision for destruction and doing everything in his power to ruin everyone's lives. That's what a villain is supposed to be. That's what makes him so menacing. That's what makes him possibly the best villain in the MCU, even though, again, I prefer Loki. So destructive in nature, that's great. Also, like, even his minions, talking about, like, Maw, I forgot how much of an impact they had on this film, and honestly, they were some of the better henchmen I have seen in a superhero movie. Those characters were pretty fucking awesome. You know, they were going on their side missions, helping them get the stones and stuff, and that was fun. And obviously, just the whole concept in general is amazing as well, and it's one of the more interesting stakes to have in a comic book film, to where it's almost kind of like a scavenger hunt mixed with battle throughout. That's such an interesting concept, and you don't see movies do that super often. It involves interactions with just about every character in this universe, and it also takes you to just about everywhere in this universe too. And also, it just wraps up just about every character perfectly, or at least continues some unfinished business from the many movies that these characters are in. Again, the whole purpose of all those lead-up films was leading to this movie. And it's just the epitome of a crossover film. You have the Iron Man movies, meet the Black Panther movies, meet the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, meet the Thor movies. It's fucking crazy. And for the writers to plan that out so well, who knows how long it took them to write the story for this, because obviously it is based off comic books, so they kind of have like the benefit of the doubt there, but still. And I can't stress this enough, every damn character is here, even ones you don't expect, and I love that. You have the Collector, which we knew he's going to be in here, but Red Skull is in this thing. That's insane. You have the Vision, you have Doctor Strange. There are obviously two major pawns on the chessboard, and going everywhere from outer space with the Tesseract, nowhere with, again, the Collector being involved with that, Wakanda for the final fight, and even the journeys that lead up to attempting to defeat Thanos, like Thor and company going to the land of the dwarves, Nidavellir, where we have Peter Dinklage playing, of course, a dwarf, but he's giant too, so that's funny. The movie just goes all over the place. It's literally just like fan service all over. Man, he just had to be that character as well, right? He just had to be the one to play the dwarf. Shout out to Peter Dinklage. We love you around here, man. The most iconic little man in Hollywood. Thanos' homeworld Titan is in ruins, and they go there, man. Just all over the galaxy with this one. And I mean, if you thought the Guardians traveled a bunch, wait till you get to this movie. Every movie that we have watched and reviewed on the channel also just, again, led up to this. It was so worth the 10 plus videos I did to catch up here. It pays off super well. I mean, it's not my favorite movie that we've reviewed on the channel so far, but it's definitely top 3 for sure, maybe top 2. This just continues the legendary track record that Marvel has had over the years, and sure, they sort of fall off a little after the whole Avengers thing wraps up. That was kind of like their whole thing, and then it kind of fell off and people were like, whatever. This is still a historically great franchise, and this movie is one of its biggest feats. And do you guys know how hard it is to meet expectations for a movie like this? I mean, my god, literally everything weighed on this, and they did a fantastic job, I think. I don't know, there might be some people that don't like the movie, I'm not really sure. Also, just the fact that they fit everything they needed to into this movie without rushing anything or forgetting about anything, that's super impressive. It's only a 2.5 hour movie, like obviously Endgame's 3 hours, but again, that's super awesome. Of course, with Marvel, everything visually also is going to look good, and besides maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy films, this is probably the most beautiful film so far in this franchise, and again, I have no doubt in my mind that this will get trumped in Endgame. I do think Endgame can beat out this movie. I know I was saying in the beginning how much I was doubting that prospect, but holy shit. And speaking of Endgame, even after everything that has gone down in this film, there's still so much intrigue going into that movie, and the fact that that is a thing and people are still waiting, at the time we're still waiting on Endgame, that's crazy. There's so much. It just shows like how vast of a universe this is and how much potential it had and how well that potential got paid off. The Endgame line that Doctor Strange puts out there, I'll play the clip real quick.
We're in the Endgame now.
You get the Thanos will return at the end of the film, and I remember watching that at first in the theaters and being like, wait, there's more? Like, there's no possible way, right? I mean, yeah, Thanos needs to be stopped eventually, but holy shit, they're going to give us another one of these, and it's going to be a half hour longer? That's great. Shit is about to go down even further in the next movie, and knowing that makes this movie even better than it was when it initially came out. So many purely CGI characters here as well, and just getting into the looks and the effects, and once again, Marvel as a studio makes them fit right in with the other characters. I love the feeling this movie gives you too, too, of just inevitable destruction. You almost knew Thanos was going to win the day. It's just a matter of when, and that built so much intense moments throughout the movie. It's such a good film. And just the impact this film continues to have on fans of the universe, like, it's nice to be able to talk about this years later because we're like, wow, this movie still holds up to this day. It seems like a movie you can only watch twice because it's so long, but like, man, I could watch this before I go to bed every single night. It's great. It just needs to be talked about even more than it already is. It's also a decently funny movie too, just getting into the humor, and it's not too over the top with that, which I love. Just added to the fun of it all, just kind of adding some stuff here at the end of this section. Just the idea again of everyone meeting each other too, the fact that Thor didn't know who the Guardians were, and I think this was my favorite part. Like, Thor didn't know who the Guardians were, Iron Man's meeting Doctor Strange for the first time, and basically everyone but the Guardians are meeting Thanos for the first time. That's fucking sick. Like, no one even knows what Thanos looks like, so he has like this sense of mystery going throughout the film. That is so damn awesome. It's one of my favorite elements of the whole thing. Sorry if I didn't get to specific characters either, just wrapping this up. There were just too many general things to talk about, and I didn't want to be here for hours, so there's the good. So getting into the bad, the only bad thing I could possibly say about this thing is it sure does kind of bounce around a little bit between these different groups that I mentioned, but that's not a terrible thing. I just needed to put something here. There's only a couple minor things in the bad. It's going to be one of the shorter sections we've had on any movie, and obviously like them just rushing into killing characters, I don't know, the whole pacing of that was kind of weird, but like I mentioned, it's necessary to do that anyway. Obviously they procrastinated it a little bit, but it had to be in this movie. They had to kind of make up the ground, and they kind of did that, and we'll kind of mention some of the character deaths a little later on in the video, but there you have it. So getting into the okay, there are some kind of complications with Thanos that I'm kind of mixed on. Like, I think Thanos is a great character, again, one of the best characters this universe has ever seen, but at the same time, is he really that sadistic? Like, is it that realistic to where like he kills his albeit adopted daughter but still someone he should have loved dearly for a stone? I guess, I don't know. Like, also this reflects well at the end when he's sitting at this stoop, and I guess Gamora or someone, I can't remember, like a young version of her or someone like comes up and starts talking to him and like, what did you have to give up? Everything. And that's one of the more impactful scenes in the movie. But in this vision, and like he acknowledges that he lost everything just to be the master of the universe, and that sucks to kind of sit back and think like, damn, was it all worth it? That's what makes that scene so great. But no, like realistically, no. Was it worth it? I don't know. I guess like some people are having these sentiments that a villain doesn't think they're a villain, but he is. You know what I mean? For the sake of some of the characters who died, you know, I hated to see some of those go, so obviously I'm gonna be like, no, it wasn't worth it. Like Loki, an absolute icon, dies, and especially Gamora. Like, it really sucked to see Gamora die. I know obviously this disintegrated people. There's a lot of fucking spoilers here. I don't even know why I didn't warn you guys before. We'll come back eventually, but still, how demoralizing was that to watch all of those characters turn to dust? I didn't like that, but at the same time, that just adds to the risk taking, the magnitude of this movie, and how like dark it is compared to some of the previous films, and I can appreciate it for that. So kind of just getting into the review, you can pull up the tier list. I know I was scattered in this video. I was trying to kind of get my thoughts out as quick as I could without making this a 20-minute video, because I know people are going to do that, and they did do that. I'm not even really sure if this score does the movie any justice. I'm going to go ahead and just say an 8.8 out of 10. There's so much going on in this movie, and there really isn't anything I didn't enjoy. Again, you guys saw the bads. The thing is, Endgame is coming up, and I'm pretty sure that is one of, if not my favorite movies in this universe. So to sort of make room, if you want to call it that, I will be a little lighter with the rating here. Again, 8.8 is still an absolutely incredible score, though. This movie was just pure entertainment. I mean, I had a blast watching this. Like, it was nice to kind of sit back and enjoy 2.5 hours of absolute cinema, and I can't wait to do that for Endgame, but it's going to be a longer movie somehow, which is absolutely crazy. I don't know how they pulled this off so well, but my god, they got the Avengers of filmmaking together for this. Like, James Gunn was involved, they had like the Russo brothers, they had so many people working on this damn thing. Jon Favreau is doing it. Goddamn. It sucks to see some of the characters go. Obviously, that's kind of the big controversy with this, but that's like the whole no holds barred mentality that they had with this. And it is weird that they chose to wait till the last few films in the team up universe to just start slaying people, but it is necessary to keep this universe going. You can't keep everyone around. I can respect that. Again, 8.8 out of 10. I'm just gonna kind of call it a video here. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it has been your boy GZTV. Again, I know I rushed there, but I didn't want to make this a 30-minute video. We can expand stuff in the comments. That's the whole point of a comment section on YouTube, on any social media platform. Take stuff that wasn't mentioned in the video. Let's talk about it later on. This movie was great. Again, I just need to get these videos out as quick as possible, and I'm sure I can talk it out with you guys. Down in the comments, I'm out.